Let's play, Tor!
There's no denying that Mortal Kombat is one of the most popular video game series ever created, and if you happen to be a gamer born in the 1980s or the early 90s, you'll know exactly what I mean. The fighting video game released way back in 1992 was so successful that it has spawned a game franchise, a comic book series, and an animated TV series, a live-action tour, and even a film series. And arguably part of its success can be attributed to the game's characters who have built a cult following of sorts over the years. Speaking of characters, we all know who the most popular characters in the Mortal Kombat fighting universe are. I'm pretty sure most people would say their favorite combatants are Scorpion and Sub-Zero, with Raiden, Liu Kang, and Shang Tsung, Johnny Cage, and Sonya Blade being the other popular characters we all know and love. However, in this video, we will be exploring 12 deadly and underrated Mortal Kombat characters who are just as cool as their more famous counterparts, so stay tuned. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. Rain. First up on our list is Rain, aka Zephyro, the demigod son of god Argus and half-brother of Taven and Dagon. After marking his debut in the OG Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, Rain has been an on and off character in most of the series. Despite his treacherous nature, Rain is a likable and deadly character thanks to his emotional past. His father, who happens to be the protector god of Edenia, threw him away since he was born of an illegitimate affair with a mortal Edenian woman called Amara. This is the reason why Rain is often referred to as the bastard son of Argus. Rain believes he is the rightful prince of the Outworld and wants to claim its throne while seeking revenge against his father for the death of his mother, who died of grief because of what Argus did to him. Rain is a hydromancer, meaning that he can control water. He makes the most of this ability in his signature moves, namely Mind Control Orb, Water Blast, H2O Boost, and Windy Feet. Havoc. Next up on our list is Havoc, a denizen hailing from the Chaos Realm and an anarchist whose only job is to bring chaos and discord in all the realms he resides in, although he doesn't really have an ultimate purpose. In the current timeline, Havoc wants to bring chaos to Sado because he is unhappy with its laws. He opposes Onaga, the Dragon King of Sado, and wants to destroy his regime. Havoc is a rival of Motaro, the guardsman of Sado, and an ally of the revolutionary Darius and the sorcerer Quan Chi. Also known as the Cleric of Chaos, Havoc is perhaps the only character in the game who experiences joy and pleasure instead of pain and suffering when he gets attacked. His body is so warped and deformed that he can dislocate and dismember most of his body parts with ease. As a matter of fact, he can rejuvenate himself by dislocating his limbs when he's attacked. Furthermore, he possesses a unique healing ability that allows him to survive fatal disfigurements like a broken neck or a crushed skull. Havoc has plenty of attacks that make the most of his unusual physical abilities, such as Torso Spin, Diving Corpse, Crackling Legs Projectile, Head Snap, Corpse Taunt, Neoplasm, Helping Hand, and Bloodbath.
Our peoples could not be more different.
Motaro. If you're a Sagittarian or a Capricornian, you'll love Motaro because he is a Centaurian, meaning that he has the body of a horse and the torso of a man, and he also happens to have a pair of horns just like a Capricorn. Motaro also has a long, rat-like metallic tail, which he uses for channeling energy and specialized attacks such as Tail Projectile and Tail Sweep. Residing in the Outworld, Motaro is a huge character, standing 9 feet tall from head to hooves, and like the other Centaurians, he is an exceptionally good hunter with some mystical powers. Because he has the lower body of a horse, Motaro is incredibly powerful, and just like a horse, he can knock his human opponents several feet away with a single punch or kick. His 4-legged lower torso also allows him to travel large distances and unleash powerful charge attacks. Also, thanks to his razor-sharp rat tail, he can fire energy blasts at his enemy from its tip. However, despite his amazing physical strength, Motaro's most awesome ability is his absolute immunity to projectile attacks. His skin has a special reflective surface or shield that repels long-range attacks, sending them back at the opponent. He uses this ability for his special attack move called Reflect. or Tremor. Our list would be incomplete without a ninja, so we decided to add Tremor, a brown-plated swap ninja with superhuman strength. He works as an arms dealer in the Earth Realm and is an enforcer of the dreaded Black Dragon clan working under Kano. As his name suggests, Tremor possesses the ability of geokinetics, meaning that he can shake the earth to damage his opponents. In fact, he used this ability to escape from the Special Forces' custody during a prison break organized by Kano. Besides being able to shake the land beneath his and his opponent's feet, Tremor is also able to control other earth elements such as rocks and other minerals. He reinforces himself with rock formations on his body and often turns himself into rock. By manipulating the other minerals, he can turn himself into gold, crystals, and magma, which doesn't seem to affect his body. Not only that, Tremor has the ability to turn his opponents to stone, crystals, and gold, and even burn them to a crisp with magma. Apart from rocks and magma, Tremor also can summon fireball projectiles at his opponents. His signature moves include Earth Pound, Earth Blast, Rock Drop, Ground Pulse, Rock Toss, Rolling Stone, Stone Punch, Earth Shake, Gold Punch, and Lava Drop. Kenshi Takahashi. Yet another underrated Mortal Kombat character, Kenshi Takahashi is a blind swordsman residing in Japan in the Earth Realm. He possesses the ability of telekinesis and psychokinesis and is a rival of the evil sorcerer Shang Tsung, who is responsible for his blindness. Marking his debut in the 2002 Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, Kenshi has been featured in many of the game's storylines. He freed Ermac from the Outworld Emperor Shao Kahn's control and is seen as one of the core members of the Special Forces alongside Jack and Sonya Blade. He seeks to overthrow Motaro and his Red Dragon clan. Kenshi has also been associated with Sub-Zero and Johnny Cage. In spite of his blindness, Kenshi possesses heightened senses that help him fight on par with his opponents. Owing to his enhanced senses, he can sense his opponent's presence by their energy or just by hearing their movements. This allows Kenshi to stun his opponents with a deadly move. His sense of sight is spiritual in nature, which means he can sense the souls of opponents. Also, because he is blind, he is completely immune to all attacks that target his sense of sight. The rogue warrior uses telekinesis frequently to move objects and his opponents without touching them. He uses his telekinetic attacks to push, pull, or lift objects using single-hand gestures. He also uses telepathy, where he projects energy from his mind to paralyze his enemy, thereby leaving the enemy motionless and open for attacks. Moreover, he is also able to teleport from place to place and levitate in the air. Kenshi is also a mentalist, meaning that he can read the minds of his opponents, see visions of the future, remove mind control effects, create portals, and even overload his opponent's senses and literally knock them out of their senses. Kenshi's weapon of choice is an ancient ancestral sword called Sento, which contains the spirits of his warrior king ancestors who guide him in combat. Scarlet. The first female character on our list is a magician named Scarlet. She is skilled in the deadly art of blood magic and is one of the adopted daughters and personal bodyguards of Shao Kahn, the Emperor of Outworld Realm. What makes Scarlet a deadly combatant is her relationship with Shao Kahn. Apparently, she has been empowered by Shao Kahn through sorcery, who is also trained in the arts of blood magic. Due to her connection with blood magic, Scarlet seems to have developed a great liking for the blood of her enemies. She's particularly fond of Edenian blood, but she refrains from the blood of the Chiton, which supposedly has negative effects on her. In the past, Scarlet has been linked to Kitana and Baraka. In fact, she marked her debut in Mortal Kombat 2 as a glitched variation of Kitana. However, she has been developed as a separate character ever since. The ferocious Scarlet uses different types of blades, which she uses as projectiles and melee weapons during combat. And due to her body being composed solely of blood and her mastery of the art of blood magic, she can perform several blood-related moves such as Blood Ball, Bloodshot, and Blood Trail, where she throws orb-shaped projectiles composed of blood. Moreover, she can even turn herself into blood and teleport behind her opponent in a move called Bloodport. Jackie Briggs. Making her debut in the Mortal Kombat X comic series, Jackie Briggs, aka Sergeant Jacqueline Sonya Briggs, is a human character and a member of the Special Forces. Along with her best friend, Cassie Cage, Takeda, and Kung Jin, Jackie is a member of a group called the Combat Kids. Jackie was born after her father Jackson, Jax Briggs, was resurrected from being one of Quan Chi's slaves during the Netherrealm War, and he met her mother Vera. Jackie's father Jax is very protective of her and wants her to live a normal life away from all the chaos. However, However, despite her father's disapproval, she joined the Special Forces as she sees it as her duty to protect the Earthrealm. She also wants to take revenge on Quan Chi and Ermac for what they did to her father. Notably, Ermac had ripped off his arms during the Outworld tournament. Jackie is a professional kickboxer and has competed in the Junior Olympics, which makes her a good fighter, almost at par with her friend Cassie. She has further honed her skills after she underwent training at a Special Forces camp. Owing to her training and strength, Jackie can easily knock out a grown man single-handedly. She uses a pair of electronic gauntlets that not only enhance her physical strength, but can also fire plasma energy, shotgun rounds, grenades, machine gun rounds, and even rockets. Some of her coolest signature moves include Air Ground Smash, Forces Rush, Bionic Dash, Gauntlet Strike, Tech Shield, and Gauntlet Spark. Serena. Serena is a demon from the Netherrealm. She is an ally of Sub-Zero in the Earthrealm and has worked as an assassin for the sorcerer Quan Chi in the past. Formerly, Serena used Quan Chi's magic to stay in her human form, but after she turned against him and escaped the Netherrealm, she has managed to stay in her human form even without Quan Chi's magic. Serena is a benevolent character for the most part, especially after she becomes friends with Sub-Zero and Lin Kuei, but she is still wary of the ugly and hideous demon that she naturally is. Serena is also one of the most underrated and deadly characters in the series and possesses some really fatal moves such as Jataka's Curse, where she opens a ring on the ground, and when the opponent stands inside the ring, their powers deplete. Serena also has a secret move called Cameo Fatal Blow, where she transforms into her demon self and uppercuts the opponent in the air and grabs them with her long tail, inserts her hand through their stomach, and destroys the spinal cord. Serena's other signature moves include Throwing Kama, Spin, Cartwheel, Fire Skull, Skull Bash, 5-star Kick, Gutbuster, and Throwing Knife. Kira. Yet another underrated Mortal Kombatant on our list is Kira. She debuted in Mortal Kombat Deception as one of Cabal's first recruits for the new Black Dragon. Like Havoc, Kira is also an anarchist, meaning that she just wants to spread chaos and disorder in the Chaos Realm where she resides. Kira is a courageous and risk-taker human combatant. She shows a great level of sensibility and can be seen as a stark contrast to her fellow recruit, the insensitive Cobra. But what makes Kira deadly and underrated is the fact that she uses the same special moves and fighting styles as Kano and Sonya in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. In fact, some of Kira's signature moves were used by Kano and Sonya too. Besides all this, Kira also happens to be a skilled martial artist and keeps her dragon teeth knives handy. In one of her signature moves called Black Dragon Ball, she curls herself into a ball and pins her opponent down kinda like a bowling ball. Another of Kira's deadliest moves is the Kiss of Death, where she blows forward a purple mist similar to Sonya. The mist blinds the opponent for a while. And then there's Nightshade, where she crouches down and releases a pink projectile towards her enemy. Speaking of fatalities, Kira uses her weapon, the Dragon Teeth, to rip her opponent's body in half. Suhow. Moving on, our next pick for the most deadly and underrated character is Suhow. Suhow is an evil antagonist and a member of the Red Dragon Clan whose only aim is to destroy the Black Dragon Clan, which is made up of former members of the Red Dragon. Suhow invaded the Special Forces in order to gain access and destroy the group. The deceptive Mongolian grappler resides in Earthrealm and takes orders from Motaro, the high-ranking commander of the Red Dragon Clan. One of the things that makes Suhow deadly is his pulsating cybernetic implant in place of his heart. The implant helps him upgrade his strength whenever he needs a boost during combat. The cybernetic heart also gives him supernatural powers, like creating wind gusts from his hands and fireballs from the ground. However, Suhow's greatest weapon is not his heart, but his deceptive nature, which helps him succeed in most of his missions that involve sabotage. With the help of his cybernetic heart, Suhow fires a short but powerful laser beam called Crystal Laser from his chest at the enemy. He also uses the chest implant to fire a fatal laser beam called Chest Laser, which is powerful enough to split the opponent in two. His other signature moves include Cyrus Stomp, Thunderclap, and Bouncing Death. Farah/Tor. Farah and Tor are a pair of unidentified outworld species consisting of a young female rider, aka Farah, and a giant masked male mount called Tor. Together they serve as bodyguards of Kotal Khan, the former emperor of the outworld. The pair marked their debut as minor antagonists in Mortal Kombat X as DLC, the last cameo fighter in the combat pack. They were wandering in the Tarkatan wastelands before being tasked with being the personal bodyguards of Kotal Khan. What makes the pair so deadly is their unique communication. The rider, Farah, is a small female warrior with clawed gauntlets on both hands. She rides on top of the large brute Tor, who wears a piece of cloth on his face for a mask bound by ropes, and a hole in the cloth exposes one of his red eyes. Thanks to his size, Tor is capable of superhuman strength and durability, making it easy for him to overpower his opponent, while Farah's smaller frame gives her agility, speed, and accuracy. Plus, the bladed gauntlets on her wrists allow her to cut deep into her enemy's skin. Being the pair of rider and mount, the duo works with the rider Farah being the master, ordering Tor to do as she commands. While Tor sometimes uses Farah in his charging attacks to inflict more damage, Farah uses her clawed gauntlets to steer Tor or enrage him for attacks. But sometimes the pair doesn't work in unison. Sometimes Tor fights alone, with Farah cheering him on the sideline. In fact, Tor becomes somewhat more powerful without Farah riding on his back. Farah and Tor's signature move includes Bowl Girl, Farah Toss, and Boss Toss, where Tor tosses Farah at the opponent and she attacks them with her claws. Some of Tor's standalone attacks include Tor Charge, Tor Up, Backbreaker, and Boulder Roll. Blaze. Why wouldn't a character shrouded in flames make for a deadly Mortal Kombat character? That's Blaze for you. Introduced in Mortal Kombat 2 as a background character and marking his playable debut, albeit as a hidden character in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, Blade is depicted as an elemental being from the Outworld who is engulfed in flames. As his name and appearance suggest, he possesses the ability to control fire and its elements, including heat and lava. Blade is described as the guardian of the last dragon egg and could have been responsible for waking the demigod Dagon prematurely. He is set free after the egg hatches and Dagon is awoken. Blaze has control over everything fire-related, such as flame projectiles to fire blows and strikes. He also serves as a catalyst of ultimate power, meaning that whenever a combatant successfully defeats Blaze, they can absorb the ultimate energy and the winner can attain godlike power. Upon defeating Blaze, the winner gets a single wish. In his current timeline, Blaze is the most powerful combatant who is able to cause Armageddon by himself and has the power to devour existence. Marvelous verdict. We're pretty sure you've enjoyed this video just as much as we enjoyed making it. And now that you know our 12 most deadly and underrated Mortal Kombat characters, tell us who your new favorite character is. Leave us a comment and drop a share and like if you haven't already.